Domo domo, what is up everybody? This is official Jujutsu Kaisen translator Steady, always at the ready. So welcome back to another Manga Lounge, Jujutsu Kaisen edition. I am joined here today by none other than the man, the myth, the salmon legend, Inumaki Toge, the salmon t-shirt. Putting in some work today. If you haven't seen the video yet, I did a recent unboxing of some Jujutsu Kaisen merch. We're starting to see that Jujutsu Kaisen merch start to come out. But this video was specifically for the crowdfunding event that happened, a Japan exclusive. I was able to get my hands on some merch. I paid for it with my own money, just in case anyone thinks I got comped or something like that. But yeah, definitely check it out if you're interested in seeing what's out there so far. Hopefully once the anime comes out, we'll be seeing some more Jujutsu Kaisen merch worldwide. But anyways, I also have volumes 8 and 9 right here, just kind of joining me, chilling out. So today, it's probably not going to be too long of a video, kind of based on chapter 93. Not too much happens in this chapter, but definitely I have a good feeling about next week. We're definitely going to be getting into some action. But for today, we'll just kind of go over a couple of the little details, some of the new characters or returning characters that have appeared now in Shibuya. So of course, if you haven't read chapter 93 yet, please do. And if you'd like to follow along, get out your Shonen Jump app. So let's get right into it, shall we? So chapter 93, obviously we were left off with the special grade curses. We had Mahito talking with Jogo, kind of not really arguing, but this all of a sudden Mahito was like, "Hey, I wouldn't actually mind killing Itadori." Kind of change of plans, right? They were originally just going to revive Itadori and get Sukuna revived, but now he's like, "Hey, now that Gojo's out of the way, we might not need Sukuna. We might be good." So that's kind of the situation going on right now, and he kind of says, "Hey, let's make a little game out of this. If I find Yuji first, he's going down. If Jogo, you find him first, you can do what you will, give him the fingers and revive him if you want." Of course, this is all still kind of wishy-washy in terms of how many fingers Yuji actually has to eat before Sukuna's kind of presence becomes overwhelming and he becomes the main presence in the body, right? So we don't know. It seems like Yuji obviously kind of has a control over it for right now, but remember, there is also that famous scene where Yuji gets the head sliced off before he's revived from the dead. They made a binding vow, and you know, Sukuna might exploit that at any moment, so we always have to kind of keep that in the back of our head, right? But Choso is very much kind of in the, if I find him, I'll kill him to get kind of revenge for my brethren, you know, Eso and Kichizu, that were defeated at the Yasuhachi Bridge arc, right? But he's also interested in going to the school to find more of the cursed wombs, the death paintings. But I like this kind of little back and forth, you know, where Jogo's like, "Well, I'm staying here." Then they're coming here, so I'm staying here. And then they're like, "Okay, we'll see you later then." And he's like, "Hey, wait up." But it looks like the kind of the squid curse, what we can assume to be a curse of the sea, right? Because all of them, like Jogo is curse of, like he's curse of the land. And we had Hanami as the curse of kind of the woods, forest, and Mahito is of course curse of people. And so we can assume that this unnamed squid curse is curse of the sea. But then we have these two girls that show up, and of course if you're a fan of Jujutsu Kaisen, you might recognize who they are right away. We did see them obviously in the main story with flashback arc. Geto picks them up at the village that he does, you know, the crazy massacre at. And we know them as Mimiko and Nanako. So they're also heavily kind of featured in Volume 0 as well. We're not really too sure exactly what they're about in terms of the powers, but it looks like the doll that she's holding has something to do with it. The blonde-haired one, she kind of uses, seems like a wire and like rope, and she, in Volume 1, she hangs a bunch of people. So they're obviously kind of brainwashed by Geto, and they're very intent on getting him back. And I love this panel where we see fake Geto. He's like, I've forgotten what regret feels like. He's just so determined on this mission that he's like, hey, you can't change my mind. I'm doing what I want. And then we have Yuji and Nanami group link up. So that's going to be interesting, and hopefully they're going to be fighting together, and it definitely does look like it's going to be kind of working towards that. And Nanami's definitely on board for the whole kind of working from the next door stations into Shibuya Station to attack. But he also says, hey, look, you three need to take care of the curtain that doesn't allow us to get inside first, curtain C, right? So he kind of trusts Ino to do his thing, and Ino obviously we're not really sure what he's about, but we know he's strong though. He's a semi-grade 1, so he's no slouch. But we're not too sure what his power is all about. But hopefully we'll see soon. Maybe something to do with his hat. I don't know. It's a pretty significant feature, so maybe it has some, or maybe it's just a fashion thing. I don't know. But then they also have the little revelation about Gojo, saying that the Gojo family is kind of a one-man team. In the Japanese original chapter, they said one-man team of Satoru Gojo. So perhaps he is, and this is kind of a big thing because he's one of the big three families, right? The Gojo family, but they make it sound as though maybe he's either really the only one left in the Gojo family lineage, which would be bonkers, or maybe he's really only maybe it's not meant to be taken as literal in the sense that he's the only one that really has any sort of fighting power or kind of pull in that sense. We'll see. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. We're not really supposed to know 100% right now, but it was kind of a very interesting point here. But they're saying that if Gojo is kind of, removed from the Jujutsu world, all of a sudden the balance of powers, remember we were talking about in chapter 92 about the balance of power and how that might collapse. Definitely the kind of the safety net of Gojo's taken away. All of a sudden you're going to have all these curse users come out of the shadows. And this huge double spread right here will rescue Satoru Gojo. Everyone's kind of got their own agenda here, especially on the curses side, but obviously everyone on the sorcerer's side are kind of on the same page. But again, this doesn't show Nobara and Zenin, Naobito, as well as Maki. So I think what we were talking about, that Yuji's kind of scream telling everyone that Satoru Gojo got caught, I don't think it reached them. So the Nobara group might be kind of out of the loop right now. So we'll see about that. And of course, this kind of final little panel here. We got some curse users. I love this. Just the design, just seeing new characters like this is so refreshing and really just kind of builds the world, right? Because we're kind of familiar to seeing the same faces and things like that. But when you get treated to something new like this, it always kind of makes you wonder, oh, what are they about? What are their powers about? And of course, so you got this old granny right here. We don't know how strong she is, but she seems to be maybe remember these little pegs in the ground are what the grasshopper Kogai also used to summon that the curtain. So it's kind of a what we can kind of assume is, even if you don't know how to do the mantra, that if you have these things, that you can somehow summon a curtain, I mean. And then this guy, this mustachio guy on the left with his big eyes, we'll see what that's all about too. But another funny thing about this Granny is that her little coat, if you look closely, in Japanese it says Johnny's, which is a kind of a play on Johnny's Entertainment. If you're familiar with Japanese like idols or entertainment, Johnny's is a famous big entertainment company that produces like male boy bands, sort of, so to speak, or male idols. And recently, Arashi, one of their most famous ones, so right now, was featured in a little One Piece collab. So that's pretty cool. So I guess she's a fan of Johnny's Entertainment. It's not the exact same spelling because to avoid copyrights and things like that, but pretty funny, kind of interesting to see what that's all about. But yeah, that's where it kind of leaves off. But we've had 3 chapters of kind of quote-unquote explanation chapters, not too much action, so definitely look at 94 to be action-packed. I have a good feeling. Obviously, the Yuji and Megumi group, I think they're going to be encountering perhaps this group right here, so we'll see. We have a lot to look forward to. Definitely let me know what you guys think is going to go on. If you have any questions or anything like that, as long as it's in the realm of me being able to answer and not get in trouble, I'm more than happy to. But yeah, definitely check out the video for the merch unboxing as well. And of course, if you also like podcasts, I have the world's only Jujutsu Kaisen specific podcast right here as well, so enjoy. All right, with that, you know how we do. Mata yoroshiku.